Welcome to MMA MADE, the best MMA show around the world. Mighty Devin. Again, what is up with this guy? I don't know. Anyways, obviously Debo ain't here tonight. Maybe it's because he knows he ain't getting the belt. You know what I'm saying? But dinner's going to be good. That's all I'm saying. He owes me dinner because whoever won Season 3 gets dinner. Let's jump right into it. This past weekend, UFC in New Orleans, Louisiana, Dan Hendo comes out with the H-bomb. Crazy. It wasn't a one and done. He hits it, comes on to Tim Bosch, lands a flurry, and man, the old dog gets a bone. So I picked that one, and well, Debo's not here to argue, but you know, I was on the fence, but he forced me. He had the belt last week. You know, he finally won one, but I already won it back, and that's a wrap. So anyways, I would have to say that this card, even if you're a casual fan, you need to check this card out. This was a phenomenal card. I will say phenomenal. I will honestly put this card, when you're grouping it as a whole from top to bottom, in my top 20 favorite cards of all time. That's a big statement. I know it's a big statement. But 12 fights, 10 finishes. I forget how many first round finishes there were, but there was more than 7, I could tell you that much. It was crazy. From top to bottom, I'm not going to talk about every single fight, but there was some fights on there. The Brian Ortega fight, that got fight of the night. That was a crazy fight. I mean, that was a straight war. But you know, there was no fights on there that I didn't enjoy. They were all good. Great night. So kudos to the UFC, putting on a great fight card. Definitely flew under the radar because not a lot of name recognition was on the card, other than a couple fighters like Dan Henderson obviously has name recognition. Tim Bosch's opponent, to the casual fan, probably not a lot of name recognition, but not to say that he's not a great fighter. And sometimes that's how these cards perform. And it was free. Free 99. Are you out of your mind? You can't beat that. You can't beat that. And now we'll probably have a UFC 188 this weekend, and it probably won't be half as good. But we'll get to that in a little bit. But back to the UFC New Orleans. Great card, or hashtag UFC NOLA, N-O-L-A is what was going on. Great card. Can't say enough about it. And in regards to that card, and when I say we, I mean me, I decided at the seat of my pants to do giveaways, raffles, contests, whatever you want to call it. And I said, in the morning, I said, you know what? If Hendo lands that H-bomb and gets a KO, let's give away some t-shirts. So we decided to give away 2, retweet, following to be eligible. We had quite a few people do that, so we had 2 winners on that. And then I said, once we got into the card and we getting all these first-round finishes, I said, if the last 2 fights end in first-round finishes, boom, we're going to give away 5 shirts. I don't know what the hell I was. Debo, what was I? He's not here to tell me that I'm crazy. You know how he does it. So anyways, let me pull this out because I can't remember everybody. But basically, for the first 2 winners for the Hendo H-bomb KO, it's going to go to Patrick Chapman, and it's going to go to Kevin Herrick. Congratulations. We'll be getting 2 shirts out to each of you guys. And for the 5, we got Megan Ship, we got Kevin Clark, we got Derek Bolinski. I'm sorry if I pronounced any names wrong. We have Daniel Davis, and we have, I can't even read my own writing, Steven, last name starts with a G. Sorry, I can't even read my own writing. But anyways, you guys won. You'll be contacted through Twitter, and of course you'll be tagged in the show so you can know that you won. So, moving on real quickly, News and rumors. There's a couple things going on. I was kind of, well, I guess I wasn't really that shocked to see that the Nevada State Athletic Commission had postponed Anderson Silva's hearing for a third time. Man, what's going on over there, guys? Come on, let's get it together. I mean, obviously, I would have to say because it's Anderson Silva, and who knows what's going on. I don't know. I just want to bring it up. I thought it was crazy. Yeah. Tyson Griffin gets released from World Series of Fighting, hence at retirement. So that's some news going on there. Also in the news this week, we have 2 fighters from the Bellator card, the 137 card that I actually went to. 2 fighters popped for banned substances. One, not PEDs, and one was PEDs. Richmond gets busted for PEDs. He's getting suspended for 2 years. And then, unfortunately, our boy Fernando Gonzalez, who we had the opportunity to interview at Bellator 137 down when I was in Temecula watching the fight, he got popped for marijuana metabolites, which, you know, there's controversy and back and forth on if it should be a banned substance, if it shouldn't, if it should, if it should. But the point is, currently it is banned, so it is an illegal substance. It is a banned substance. It is a second offense. You know, go out, have fun, relax, do it. Maybe you got medical issues, that's cool. Fernando, we just want to see you, you know, make sure you're not doing that just so he can stay in the fight game. He's going to be suspended for 90 days and fined $1,500, and then he is going to be paying for the cost of the tests, is basically what it comes down to. I'm not sure what Richmond was fined, but I know he is suspended for 2 years, so that's harsh. That could be a doomsday for any fighter. You know, 2 years on the shelf, that's a long time. So, you know, I wish the best to him. He owned up to it. He said he cheated. He wasn't trying to hide the facts. So, you know, he's taking his medicine like a man. So that's good. All right. On to this coming weekend. This Saturday, we have UFC 188 on pay-per-view. And, of course, that is headlined by the long-awaited return of Kane. The Kane coming out of San Jose, right in our backyard, American Kickboxing Academy, fighting Fabricio Verdum to unify the titles. You got the Kane as the heavyweight title holder and Fabricio as the interim title holder. So unified the belts. So we're excited for that. That should be a banger. Co-main event, we will have El Nino Gilbert Melendez against Eddie Alvarez. Both these guys need a win. And I don't know who needs to win more, quite honestly. Eddie's only had one fight in the UFC, and that was against Cowboy. Not a great homecoming or welcoming, if you would. That's a tough fight for anybody. So for him to get paired up with such a dynamic fighter and a guy that's just on a tear right now, that's got to be tough. So he needs a win. He needs to get his first win in the UFC. But Gilbert's coming off a loss against Pettis, which is, you know, I mean, Pettis is a tough competitor. So, you know, nothing to say bad about that. But if Gilbert gets a loss, he's really going to be getting knocked out of title contention. He's still ranked up pretty high. He gets this win. He starts back on that climb again, gets close to another title shot. So both these guys need a win. I don't know who I'm going to pick on this one. I'm kind of on the fence. I think it's going to be a good fight. I'm hoping it's going to be a good fight, and that's all I really want to see. Another honorable mention on that card that I would like to announce is going to be Kelvin Gastelum against Nate Marquardt. I think Nate's only won maybe one fight in the last 3 years, so he really needs a win. Gastelum just came off of a really bad weight cut, so much that they wanted to push him out of welterweight and go fight middleweight. He came in heavy against Tyron Woodley, and he did lose. It was his first loss. People argued that he may have won, but in any case, he needs to bounce back. Not just a win, but he needs to come in and show that he can make weight and be a competitor in the UFC. And I mean, before that, he was on a tear, and he was just going in there and proving everybody wrong. So, and there's a ton of fights on this card. I'm not going to get into all of them. back to the main event. Yeah, you thought I just skipped over. No, I didn't just skip over. We're getting back to it. Kane. I mean, this guy has beaten everybody in pretty much in a dominant fashion, other than an early first-round TKO loss to Dos Santos on their first meeting, which a lot of people thought it was a fluke. But he's avenged that loss 2 times, actually, 2 times. And most of his wins are KOs or TKOs, and he's fought some pretty big names. So I would have to say I'm going to put my money on Kane. I think that's a safe bet. The only question mark is ring rust. Does he have ring rust? You know, is he fully healthy? That's always a concern if he's healthy. I personally think he's probably 100% or he wouldn't be coming back. You know, it was already postponed once and it got pushed back again. So I feel he's going to come in at 100% or at least 95. I don't know if anyone ever comes in at 100%, but as close to 100% as possible. And I just don't think Fabricio's going to have an answer for him. I just think Kane is just too much in all aspects. So it'll be interesting to see. I think Fabricio's going to want to take this to the ground for any chance of winning and try to get him in a sub. I mean, he's a great jiu-jitsu guy, but Kane's a great wrestler, so that might just be null and void. We'll have to see. I think Kane tries to keep it on the feet and go for the knockout or the TKO, but that's how I'm picking it. So I got Kane on that. I definitely take Gastelum against Marquardt. I think Nate's close to retirement. He's been fighting for a long time. Co-main event, Gilbert or Eddie. I would probably have to lean more towards El Nino. He's been fighting for a long time. He was virtually almost unbeatable in Strikeforce, and he was the champ for quite a few years. So I'll go with El Nino on that. So in any case, thank you so much for tuning in. This is going to be our season finale. We're going to go on break. Debo has a lot of obligations to fulfill right now, so it just made sense to do it now. He couldn't make it here. So, you know, we wish him the best to fulfill all those obligations he has right now. But we'll be back. We're going to be back sometime in the middle or to the late of next month. So it's going to be about 4 or 5 weeks or so. And I'll post dates and stuff on Twitter and whatnot on the Facebook page. And we'll keep you guys informed. And until then, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. We really appreciate all the fan support we've had since we started. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Once again, Devin D. Well, I mean, normally he'd be here. And then Mighty, the champ, baby, the champ, season 3 champ. Woo! Debo's taking me to dinner. Thank you so much. I'm going to lean in like I always do. Yo, Debo, dinner's going to be great, yo. Oh, my God, it's going to be so